the reason why people deal with me in the first place. Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself. And this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only going to end up bad for you, and it's going to end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
It's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm going to be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You ain't gonna believe this. But you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you every day. It was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life.
Woo!
Don't forget to visit your mother.
Rise and shine. Good morning, family. Oh my goodness! Let me tell you beforehand. Let me go ahead and give a caution right before we go ahead and dive into today's video. I'm gonna give you guys a warning. Today is gonna be pretty deep, right? We're gonna get a little bit emotional for a couple different reasons, and I'm excited for today. So let me make sure I go live on IG so they don't miss this one. Go ahead and send this one out. This is gonna be one for the books. All right, here we go. So, family, today's title is going to be known as Remember the Name, right? This one's going to be legendary. So, before we go ahead and dive into this phenomenal topic, let's drop a little bit of gratitude down below before we go ahead and dive into the Monday. TGIM. Thank goodness it's Monday. I believe it's President's Day, too, right? Happy President's Day. So grateful to be alive. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for the family, for the dream team. I'm so thankful for all the trials, all the tribulations that is going on right now, because we know that life is happening for us and life is not happening to us. Honestly, we've been getting up and vibrating really high for, let me see how many days it is now. 200, you ready? 208 days down below, family. So go ahead and drop your consistency, because here's the deal, right? It doesn't matter what day you're on. All that matters is being able to find the consistency, right? Being able to find the groove, being able to really start waking up and diving into these rituals to the point where it becomes the new normal, right? We all went through the 4 stages of growth yesterday, right? We have number 1 is going to be known as fear, right? The fear of doing something new. Number 2 is going to be sadness, right? The sadness knowing that we could have started a lot earlier. Number 3, the excitement, right? It's exciting when you start to realize that we can take advantage of our life, that we can go out and live a life by design, right? And number 4 becomes the new norm, right? It just becomes the new normal to get up and get in these rituals feeling good, because here's the deal. Life, right? At the end of the day, family, life is always going to hit. I see the fam tapped in. Jojo, Shayna, Talina, it's good to see you. I love to see it. 198, Lady Boss, let's go. Good stuff. So here's the deal, right? We're going to be diving into the topic of remember the name. Okay. Today is February 20th, 2023. And I want to go ahead and let you guys know what day it is for myself, right? Some of you have noticed, some of you may have not yet. There's a little candle sitting right here, right? So let me go ahead and grab this thing for you so I can go ahead and give you guys the story for today, okay? For those of you that know what this is, for those of you that don't, this is for my sister, okay? Today is the day that my sister was actually born. She was born on February 20th, 1987, and she passed 2014 at 20, close to getting 30 years old. So you can see already this is going to get a touchy topic for me today, right? So this is my sister. Today is my sister's blessing birthday too. So today is not going to be a day of sadness. Today is not going to be a day of mourning. Today is going to be a celebration of life, right? So I'm excited for today's topic. I'm ready to go ahead and give you guys maybe a little bit of perspective to allow you to go ahead and just change the way that we see things. So the way that we see things can change. You know, and this morning we had a phenomenal topic this morning from Sean, and I want to go ahead and give it to you guys because it was ironic. I honestly didn't even say anything on the call, but it was funny enough how the timing was divine. You see, the topic for today that he was talking about was a little bit about legacy, right? Building the legacy. And the first thing that he led off with was, how long do you think when somebody passes away, what is the average time that you think that last name, that person is actually spoken about? And I had to sit there because I've honestly, it's really, it was deep to hear that, because here's the truth, okay? One of my students, one of my great friends, right? It's kind of interesting because the first couple of days, boom, everybody was going crazy, right? So much impact, such a beautiful life, an amazing young man. But it's interesting to see now that he put the dots together. Around 2 weeks have passed, and a lot of the talk has died down. You see, here's the number, right? For most people, they stop getting talked about 6 weeks after it is that they go ahead and transfer to the other side. 6 weeks, a month and a half, and then people go right back to their life as if nothing really happened. It's interesting. It really got me thinking. And then I went back to thinking about my sister, and there's something that's huge that I learned when I really first got started entrepreneurship, right? When you talk about legacy, there's 2 times that people that our last name is actually brought about, right? The day that we pass, okay? And the last time people are speaking about our name. Think about that, right? So you guys can probably think about individuals that you love, friends, family, and you can start, you don't have to say anything. You can just think about how true this really is. So this got my wheels turning for today. And ironically enough, it had to happen on February 20th. So I want to get deep into the legacy, right? Remembering the name, okay? My topic for today is going to be your last name. So everybody go ahead and do me a favor for a second. Drop your last name down in the comments down below. Drop your last name for me. I want to show you guys something. Okay? Fine. I'll go ahead and get mine down below. I got blessed with not a bad one, right? Your last name, if you guys haven't noticed yet, okay, some of the biggest brands, some of the most iconic things that you guys see out there, right? Guess what it is? It's last names. Rolls-Royce, Wells Fargo, right? Ford, Henry Ford, right? When you guys really start to look at this, Morgan and Morgan, right? Johnson and Johnson. When you guys really start to identify what's going on, you start to see that the last name is everything, right? The last name is something that can live on for decades and generations to come, long after they've passed. Right? So this is my conversation. This is the ideas that I want to go ahead and get stirring for today, is what is the legacy that we're going to leave? You know, Sean actually did something profound for his 50th birthday. For his 50th birthday, right? He had everybody go ahead and get in a circle. Plagies. He had everybody, McDowell, Vasquez. I love it, right? So here's the deal, right? I want you guys to think about your last name. I want you to think about and picture yourself. Close your eyes at your 50th birthday, right? Let's go ahead and get our visualization for the day. I haven't done one in a while, so let's go ahead and get into this, okay? I want you to go ahead and picture yourself somewhere blissful, right? You're spending your 50th birthday. That's a big number, right? We've got big numbers as we grow up. We have getting into the teens. We have 18. We have 21. We have 30, right? We have 40. We have 50. So 50 is a big number. That's the halfway. That's the halfway mark, right? So here's what he did. He had everybody go ahead and get in this circle at this amazing, amazing setting, and he had everybody read off a eulogy, right? For those of you that don't know what a eulogy is somebody, if somebody were to go ahead and get up and explain your life, if somebody were to get up and give a testimony of your life and all the light that you've been able to shine, all the abundance that you were able to create, and all the love that you were able to give, what is it that those individuals would say for you on your eulogy, right? If you've ever been to a funeral, I don't know about you guys, but here's the deal. I've been to funerals where some people, the eulogy is very short. It's a couple different things. They went to work. They were a phenomenal family man. They paid their bills, lived a great life. But here's the deal. Success is different to everybody, right? Success to one person might be being able to get in a van and go travel around the world, right? Success to somebody else might be a mansion in the hills in California, okay? So when you start identifying success, when we start identifying what is the impact, what do we want to leave, right? What value do we want to go ahead and give every day? You see, I realized this at the beginning of my journey in 2016, 2017. There's two types of people. There's somebody that chases the currency, and there's somebody that chases the legacy. You see, if you chase the money, if we chase the currency, number one, we'll only ever make enough for ourselves. Number two, you're going to realize the impact is not very big, only thinking about ourselves. But the legacy, the only way to truly create a legacy is to really want to give back, is to help people, is to really care. This is why when I started studying the greats, those that had the results that I want, like the Tony Robbins, the Jim Rohns, the Bob Proctors, right? Why are some of their last names ringing long after their past? Zig Ziglar, right? We're still studying these individuals long after they're gone because of the value, because of the impact, because of the knowledge that they were able to gain and the wisdom they were able to go ahead and give off to the world. Okay. So I love this topic for today. So I want to go into a couple different bullet points for this one as we go ahead and get into remembering the name. You ready? So here's the deal. The first thing I want to go ahead and talk about as we dive in. You ready? When I was sleeping in my car, okay, in 2015, right? When I was sleeping in my car towards the end of 2014 and getting into 2015, the way that I found out about my sister was sleeping in my car, $30K in debt. I had no job, right? I had literally Murphy's Law. So many things were happening to me inside of my life. And I started to realize a couple different things, okay? Number one, where I was sitting at that current point was nothing but a reflection, okay, of what I was feeling, right? Here's what I mean by that. So many of us, at the end of the day, how many of us have seen individuals get to 35, get to 40 years old, and they wonder how it is that they ended up where they're at, right? It's nothing but a reflection of the thoughts, the actions, the people they were hanging out with, the foods that was being eaten. So where I was at was nothing but a reflection. Yes, I was a D1 athlete. Yes, I was about to get out of college, but I didn't have a vision yet. I didn't know exactly where I needed to go. I didn't have the best connection with my creator. So a couple different things needed to change in order for me to really start changing the way I could see things, right? Number one, okay? Here's the first point. Everybody has choices, right? The way Sean put it this morning was we have forks in the road every day. Life every day is filled with nothing but choices for us to be able to go ahead and decide. Do we want to go ahead and drink the alkaline water or eat something healthy in the morning? Or do we want to go ahead and shove our face with something sugary, with something fried, with something that's inside of a package, right? Everything is a choice. To get on a go live, to not, to say good morning in the chat, to not, to go ahead and ask that question that we've been afraid to ask. You see, everything is nothing but a series of choices. And the decisions that we make upon these choices end up dictating our life, right? That's something my mentor said that always stuck with me. Our decisions are going to dictate our destiny. So huge, right? So here's the deal, right? A couple different things I had to realize. Miracles, right? Manifestations, it cannot happen living in a state of lack. It can't happen living in a state of doubt, living in a state of sadness and crying in a ball. Yes, right? Life happens, but here's the difference, right? It takes strength to break things, right? I hear it all the time. Mentor always says, you're strong as an ox. You don't need any more strength. But let me teach you the difference. What would serve you is being able to step into your power, right? It takes strength to break things, but it takes real power to go ahead and heal them. You see the difference? So I had to take some time to heal. I had to take some time to go ahead and patch up my wounds so I could go ahead and really step into the highest version of myself. And I want to give you guys the next point of this, okay? Sometimes in life, our biggest setbacks lead to our greatest achievements. You know why? It's so easy to get comfortable in life. Drop a 333 if you guys have ever felt like at a stage or point in your life, you felt comfortable, you felt stagnant, you felt like just every day was just repetitive. Drop a 3 down below if you guys can relate, if you feel like you've ever been in that state. Now let me go ahead and flip the question for you. How many times have you had a serious situation that happens in life where all of a sudden the switch literally got flipped, right? Maybe you broke up with a significant other. Maybe you had a fight with your family. Maybe you had something that was going on that was heavy in your life. And you took that energy and you applied it somewhere else. You applied it into your music. You applied it into journaling, put down on paper. You applied it into the gym like I did, right? The gym was my outlet. That was the place that I always went to go ahead and let out my emotions. And still to this day, even after I get on this call, it's one of the things I'm about to go do as well, right? So it's being able to figure out how can we go ahead and channel these emotions, because a lot of the times people don't make big shifts until something serious happens in life. Something feels off. They got to go to the doctor. They get a checkup and say something's wrong. Now they want to go ahead and change their diet. Now they get real serious about what they're eating. Now they're like, okay, I got to get up early. I have to change who I'm hanging out with. So I got to a point as I started to grow through this journey where I started to realize I don't want individuals to have to wait until something serious like that happens in life to flip the switch, to say, okay, I need to change. I'm ready to go ahead and figure out my purpose. I'm ready to go ahead and see why it is that I exist. Why am I designed to be here? What is the value that I really have to give? Because that's what happened to me. I had one of the biggest wake-up calls of my life, and I went from partying 8 days a week, right? Going out, just playing ball, doing my homework, just getting by. That was life. Everything was just happy days, sunshine and happy days. You couldn't tell me life was bad. I was just living it, right? Everything was just great. But here's what I didn't know, right? As you start to grow, as you start to elevate, higher highs, guess what? Always comes with a retracement. Nothing stays up forever, family. Just like those of you that are traders, you've probably noticed life. Drop a 1 down below if you guys have started to notice that life is like a game of the charts. Life is just like the charts, right? Goes up, it goes down. So at the end of the day, this is exactly what we're all going to see along this journey. We have ups, we have downs, but here's the deal, right? In some of the down points and some of the retracements, this is not a point of being stuck. This is a point of reconfiguration. This is a point to really go ahead and build our foundation to allow us to go ahead and see higher highs in the next level of our life, to gain a new level of passion, discipline, love, gratitude, and appreciation, maybe for the little things, right? Even right now, my phone is getting blown up because my family, she has to go to the hospital, right? I've got to take care of life right now. So life doesn't end, family. The curveballs never end. Life is always going to hit. We have an agenda, we have a schedule, and here's the difference. The greatness is not reserved for the chosen few. I used to always think that. Oh, greatness is just for the 1%ers, those that are just esoteric. No. Greatness is there. Greatness is available for the few that choose. You see, the 5%, there's nothing special, right? They bleed like us, they walk like us, they talk just like us, but they've been able to find a different level of belief. They've been able to dig a little bit deeper inside to understand this last name that we hold is very powerful. It holds a lot of weight. This is something that can truly impact generations to come. So as I started to go ahead and get into this training, these are the thoughts that I was thinking, right? We can't create living in the past. We can't create living in lack. And this is literally how I did it living out of my car. I had to start envisioning and embody a whole new version of myself that I didn't even know was there yet, right? I had to be able to start seeing myself as being confident again, standing up straight, shoulders back, right? We can tell a lot about what's been going on in our mind by just looking at our posture. I can see somebody for 10 seconds. I can have an idea of the lack of the self-doubt that's going on just by looking at their posture, just by looking at the way that they carry themselves. So I had to start carrying myself a little bit differently. Had to start remembering who I am, remember all the accomplishments that I've already made, right? So same thing goes for all of you. This is why Sean, at the beginning of our first training, he had us write 500 things down that we've accomplished at one point in our life that we didn't know that we could do. Because that's evidence. That's proof that it's possible. That's proof that we have a lot more inside that we didn't know we could do. And as we wrap up today's call, I want to give you guys an exercise because I really got to go. I got to take her to the hospital. But check this out. You ready? I want to give you guys proof that we can do more than we think is possible, right? I promise you this. When the body quits, there's always more on the inside. You ready? Everybody go ahead and raise your hand as high as you can raise it from me right now, okay? Raise your hand as high as you can raise it. Reach it all the way up, right? Do it with me. Play along with me. You ready? Now I want you to go ahead and do something for me. I want you to go ahead and raise it just a little bit higher. You see, you had it in you all along. You might not have thought about it. As I said, raise your hand as high as you can. But when you really dug deep, guess what? We all have a little bit inside. We all have that little extra. Because let me teach you something, family. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is nothing massive. It's just that little extra compound over a long period of time. So anybody that you see is great. Anybody that you see that's created a legacy, they're just like you and I. They were just willing to be consistent, find out what their purpose is, and really be willing to go ahead and step into that highest version every single day. So I made that decision back in 2014 to not just be an individual to just exist, right? Human being, most people are being, they're not actually even living. So I want to be an individual to go ahead and make the most of life. You see, life is not about how long we live. Life is about a collection of experiences, memories, and moments. My sister lived an abundant life. She's impacted countless lives around the world, right? She lived a very fulfilling life. She's auditioned to be a Denver Broncos cheerleader. So I'm not mad anymore. I'm not blaming God, saying, why me? Why do all these negative things always have to happen to me? Because it's hard to connect the dots looking at them, but looking back, you can always connect them and make them make sense, just like Steve Jobs says. So family, this is my training for you guys today. To be able to go ahead and stir up a couple of ideas, to make you think a little bit, to understand that you have so much more inside of you. We have so much potential that's inside that we have not even gotten close to tapping into yet. So if you're ready, family, if you're vibrating a little bit, if you can feel the tingle, if you can feel the warmness running throughout your body from the crown of your head, down your chest, down your arms, down your legs to the tips of your toes, drop some 5s down below because I believe in you, right? There's strength in numbers. There's power in numbers. There's so much synergy that happens when we can put our goals and our manifestations together. Because I'm telling you, family, you've probably seen it. You've probably helped others manifest things just by your belief, just by your conviction in them. And the same thing goes for all of us, right? And that's what a good mentor does. They allow somebody to be able to see in themselves what they couldn't see yet. And I'm so thankful and grateful for my mentor for allowing me to be able to do that for myself, so I can go out and do that to others. And you all can go ahead and leave a ripple effect to do the exact same thing. So go out, be great, step into the highest version of yourself. And I'm telling you, family, your legacy is waiting to go ahead and be read. It just takes us going and writing the book. So family, I love you. With that being said, go out and be great. It is your favorite entrepreneur, Define Dreams. Remember, you can be, do, and have anything that you can hold in your mind. You can hold it right here in your hand. Let's go out the rest of this week. Dream Team, get to work.